Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson, Season 3. And this is a sketch comedy series from Netflix, obviously created by Tim Robinson, who has certainly become a giant meme over the course of the last couple years with the sketch comedy series, and it's all over TikTok with the, what the F? What are you doing to us? And all those crazy, unhinged memes popping up. And I have to say, this sketch comedy series is probably the most unhinged thing that I've probably ever watched, comedy-wise. It's just, each season 6 episodes. This third season, that came out in 2023, is just filled to the brim with the craziest, yellingest, most absurd comedy you're going to find. And I think what Tim Robinson is so good at is he just is so different than any other comedian you're going to find. He turns everything up to 11. He could just yell all of his lines, or he could be real weird. And just the facial expressions, the way that he engages, the way that he holds his body, and he uses his voice, and everything that goes into this performance is so committed, and it's so ridiculous. And he's just such a weird personality that you feel like is kind of normal until it's not, and then you don't want to be anywhere near this person because he just explodes at any given moment. And he really brings that energy into his comedy, and you could definitely tell some of these episodes, there's some of the major memes that were coming out of them that were popping up. And it's because he's so committed and he's so driven to his bit. Now, he also has some other big-time comedians, like Sam Richardson pops up throughout this series so far up to this point. But he also has Tim Meadows and Jason Schwartzman, those actors as well, coming in here and doing these crazy bits. Each episode's 16 minutes on average, with a handful of sketches that go into each one. And they're an interesting range of, this is downright some of the funniest things that I've ever seen. I can't help but laugh with it. Then you have the ones that feel so weird and out of place that you can't help but laugh because you're just how absurd this is. And then some of them are just so far into a different frequency, I'm just I feel so uncomfortable, but I'm not laughing and I don't know how to feel. And it's such a strange range, and most of them are really funny, but some of them are just what? And it's interesting that he can swing that wild with it, but I appreciate the fact that he just goes for it in literally every single sketch. His writing is so absurdist, but he also finds some interesting ways of subverting certain things. There's one sketch where it's definitely playing up a medicine commercial, and it's just hey, you should use this, and it zooms in on his hand with the medicine in it, and then somebody comes up hey, are you talking about this? And you would expect yeah, this is a great product, I know, but instead you get no. And then it gets to this really uncomfortable anti-humor kind of situation, and you're just that's not how that commercial's supposed to go. He has such a good idea of how to twist certain expected situations into something new and hilarious. So there's just so much talent that goes into this, and so much commitment from his performance. One of the most unhinged, committed comedic performances I've seen, period, to be perfectly honest. And I think this third season continues the trend of all these wild situations and sketches, and really leaning into just the weird, offbeat, uncomfortably weird kinds of things that Tim Robinson brings to the table. But those are my thoughts on Season 3 of I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.